Hey guys, welcome to my game reviews, and today I'll be taking a look at Ranma 1 half Chougi Ranbuhen for the Super Famicom. So like a lot of my reviews lately, this game is based off an anime, and Ranma 1 half happens to be one of my favorites. It's a great mix of humor, martial arts, and romance. For anyone who hasn't seen or heard of this show, definitely check it out. So I was going to try and explain the plot to you, but it was probably going to be a very long and confusing amount of text. So instead, here's a choppy recording of part of the opening for the show. It'll give you the basic plot, just read the subtitles. Oh, and one last detail, Ranma turns into a girl because he fell into a cursed spring. There are more characters who have also fallen into cursed springs, and many of them have Ranma to blame. So if you're still confused, then you should absolutely watch the show. The show is based off a manga of the same name, which was adapted into a long-running anime series lasting 161 episodes, all of which are great. Check out the English sub. I've heard that there's a dubbed version of the show, but the Japanese voice cast does a phenomenal job. Finally, I can talk about the game. So this is a fighting game, which is very appropriate for a series with, well, a lot of fighting. Actually, this is the third Ranma 1 half fighting game for the Super Famicom. The first game was Ranma 1 half Chonai Gekitohen, and it was not good. It was released in the US as Street Combat, but all characters and references to Ranma 1 half were taken out. The next game was Ranma 1 half Hard Battle, or Ranma 1 half Chougi Ranbuhen, and it was released in the US before the anime ever made it here, so it had no name recognition to anyone outside of hardcore anime fans. The game itself was a nice step up from its predecessor and is actually worth a play, but one big problem with it, for me, is that when they released it over here in the US, they hired an American voice cast to dub over the original Japanese cast's voice samples, which just bugs the shit out of me. And the final Ranma 1 half fighting game for the Super Famicom, and the game I'm reviewing today, is Ranma 1 half Chougi Ranbuhen, and is the best of the bunch in terms of controls, characters, and moves. The game was originally planned to have a US release as a sequel to Hard Battle, but the company who was going to distribute it in America unfortunately went out of business and the port was cancelled. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the game. First off, you have a couple of modes to choose from. You have Story Mode, First Mode, and Tag Mode. First mode is your standard 2-player mode or 1-player versus CPU mode. Tag matches, you pick 2 fighters that fight against another 2 fighters, and you can tag your teammate in and out, and once one side loses both characters, it's a match. And then you have Story Mode, which is you choose a character and you must fight all the other characters to beat the game. Story for Story Mode is based around the character you pick receiving a letter listing 12 ingredients to make a Maneki Neko, or a magic wish-granting cat statue. Your character will then fight the others in stages based all over the world trying to gather the ingredients to get their wish made. Like for example, Ranma can use this wish to get rid of his girl half, and each character has their own individual ending, which usually has a comedic turnout. The characters you can choose from are both male and female Ranma. Akane, Ranma's fiance. Ryoga, Ranma's directionally challenged arch-rival who turns into a pig. Shampoo, the Chinese girl who loves Ranma and hates Akane, she also turns into a cat. Musu, a Chinese boy that is a master of hidden weaponry, he loves Shampoo and turns into a duck. Ukyo, an okonomiyaki chef who was originally supposed to be Ranma's fiance when they were kids, but Ranma's father broke off the deal. Kuno, an upperclassman who is in love with Akane and Ranma's girl half. Kodachi, who is Kuno's sister that is in love with Ranma and she hates Akane. She's also a martial arts gymnast. Mariko, a martial arts cheerleader who likes Kuno. Genma, who's Ranma's father and he turns into a panda. And Hineko, an adult who looks and acts like a child and was hired by the school principal to defeat Ranma. The game controls are nice and responsive, making it easy for you to perform and land hits on your opponent. Speaking of moves, each character has their own special attacks, all based off techniques or moves they use in the show. Like Ranma and Ryoga both use the Shishi Hokoden attack, which is a lot like Ryu and Ken's Hadouken. Some characters fight with weapons like Kuno and Ukyo. This gives them a much better range and makes it hard for you to land a hit on them without them hitting you first. Some characters like Moose, Kodachi, and Mariko can also throw projectiles. While they aren't lethal, they can take you out if you have very little health and they are on the opposite side of the screen and happen to throw something. Each character's stronger attacks and specials are performed using Street Fighter-esque button combos, which is pretty much standard in every fighting game, and they are pretty easy to pull off here without much practice, and if you're looking for a move list, there's a really great one on GameFAQs. I mentioned the stages earlier, but I want to mention them all again. All the stages are very odd and out of place for the Ranma 1/2 series, but the story mode does explain that everyone is looking for ingredients all over the world, and each character has a different place, like New York, Hawaii, Antarctica, and many more. Ironically, none of the stages take place in Japan. Even if the stages are odd, they look good and are kinda interesting with some stuff happening in the background. If you keep an eye out, you might be able to spot a character or two from the show. My favorite level has to be Lake Loch Ness, where you can see the Loch Ness Monster's silhouette swimming around the lake. The music in the game is alright, it's not amazing, and it's not exactly, a fighting game soundtrack, but it's decent sounding, and it does kind of fit with the music found in the anime. The graphics are good, each character is a good 16-bit rendition of its anime and manga counterpart. Although, there are some coloring issues here and there. For example, Mariko has brunette hair in the anime and she has blonde hair in the game. And Ukyo has brunette hair in the anime as well, and in this game it's black. Other than those few mistakes, the game looks great. So that is Ranma 1/2 Chougi Ranbuhen. It's a great fighter that you should play if you're a fan of the Ranma 1/2 series or just a fan of fighting games in general. You should have no problem picking it up and having a good time. And outside of the story, there's little to no Japanese, so it's import friendly, and goes for about a low price of $10 to $15 loose. But if you can't get your hands on this game and still want a fun Ranma 1/2 experience, check out Ranma 1/2 Bakuretsu Rantohen, aka Ranma 1/2 Hard Battle. Thanks for watching, please subscribe if you like music, check out my band, and if you like video games, check out my channel. See you guys next time.